All right, let's just start out by doing our shake, rattle, and roll. And we're going to shake because we've been at the sewing machine. And then we're going to rattle the floorboards. So if you're sitting, then it might look like that where you're rattling the floorboards. But if you're standing, then we're just going to, whatever you want. You know what? You can step side to side. You can do a little dance. You can shake your fat quarters. You can jiggle your jelly rolls, etc. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to roll those shoulders. And we're going to start with going back. Okay, then we're going to come forward. And we just want to make sure we get some synovial fluid moving around if we can. Motion is lotion. Okay, let's go back to those hands again. We started off pretty quick with that little bit of a shake. Let's make a fist, pop our hands. Make a fist, thumbs on the outside. This time slowly open your hands. Now try to extend them back. Try to get your hand to curve back. And if you've got a flat surface nearby, you can actually put it on top of the flat surface and try to lift your fingers up. I know it's hard to see from there, but I have a video on my Instagram. All right, lift your hand up just 2 or 3 times. And let's go to the other hand, get it flat, lift it up. If you don't have a flat surface nearby, then keep doing the fists or the shakes, but just get some blood flow into those hands. Okay. Next, let's work our way down to our wrists and forearms. So we're going to interlace the hands together out in front of us. Now there's a couple of ways to do this. So we're going to interlace our hands together out in front of us, push them away. And I'm not going to push too far today because I have an injury. And then if you're able, bring them on up nice and tall. And then if that feels good, you can arc to one side. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your head forward. Come on back up to center. Arc to the other side. Breathing naturally all the time. Okay, come on down. Give them a shake. And then next what I want you to do is there's 2 options for this. The first option that is the one in my book and the one you've probably seen is where your one arm comes out in front. You point your fingers towards the floor, and then you just use the opposite hand to balance. Don't go pushing on them, just balance. And then we're going to hold for, we're going to aim for 20 to 30 seconds. So continue doing that if that's what you're comfortable with. Another option for this is to have your hand out in front and make a fist. And then roll your fist down. Now feel that stretch all across the top of your forearm, the top of your wrist as it's heading down. All right, check my timer. So whichever one of those works best for you. Okay, on the other side, I'm going to start with the fist down this time. So arm is out, eyes are forward, make a fist, thumb on the outside, make a fist, roll your hand down, feel that stretch across the top, all the way down. And if you prefer to do it the other way, if you're doing the fist, keep holding it. If you prefer to do it the other way, you've got your fingers pointing towards the ground floor, and the other hand is just balancing. Not pushing, not pulling, just balancing. Okay, great. Let's work our way into the chest. When we're seated and we're sewing, our chest gets really tight and it's coming forward all the time. So one of the easiest ways to stretch your chest is just to bring your arms open wide and bring them back like you're going to do a nice, great big hug. Just like that. You're getting ready for that big hug. That really is one of the simplest ways to do it. Another way that I'm quite fond of is the doorway chest stretch. And for now, I'm going to pretend I have a doorway in front of me. And so, and because if you're in an area where you don't have a doorway in front of you, you can do the same and just pretend. So have both arms up like you're on the outside of the door frame. And then you're just going to take half a step forward. Now, normally you'd have the resistance of the door frame, so you would feel this a little bit more in here, but you can still feel it right now. And then come on back. Roll your shoulders. Okay, we got our hands on that doorway. half a step forward. Don't go too far. You will feel the stretch. It doesn't have to be very far. And we're going to hold this. I'm going to show you one more for your chest. Okay. You can grab a tape measure or a band or a strap or whatever it is that you have handy, and then just reach behind and hang on to that, and then try to get your hands as close together as possible. If it's no issue for you, you can just hold your hands behind you. But for a lot of us, that's not quite as easy as it used to be. Have your hands behind you, and then just bring them out from your body a bit. And as you bring them out, you're going to see your shoulders are getting drawn back. Your chest is stretching. Don't need to go too far. Bring it back. Okay. All right, let's start with our hamstrings. They always get tight as we're sitting, and so a couple of ways to do this, but we're going to start with having come to the edge of your seat. Plant one heel into the ground, firmly into the ground, toes towards the nose. And then you're just going to hinge forward. So when I say hinge, it means we never want our back to make a C shape. We don't want it to be round. We want our back to remain neutral straight. So hinge forward as you're coming down, and then you're going to feel that stretch. Don't get so far forward on your chair that you're going to fall off. Come on down. And of course, if you've got wheels on your chair, then you've locked them in place or you have them up against something. Okay. Now, if this feels good and you can go a little bit further, reach your hand out, reach for that foot. Don't worry about whether or not you're touching your foot, because you might have long arms and short legs and you're touching your foot and you're not getting as good a stretch. So in this case, it is about the journey and not the destination. All right, come on up. Let's do the other side. I'm going to show you a modification for that. Okay, foot heel into the ground. And then this time, if you found reaching over a little bit difficult, get a tape measure, get a strap, get a towel, whatever it is, loop it around your instep of your foot. And then same thing, you're going to hinge forward, but now you're going to use this tape measure just to connect you to your foot. You're not pulling up on it, but it just kind of helps to steady it a bit. And you may find that this is helpful. Another option you can do if you have a low footstool around is you can have your foot up on the footstool, and that's a good one too. So let's just hold this for 20 more seconds. And then because the hamstrings do get so tight, we are going to repeat these on the other side. Okay. And let's switch. Back to the other side. Do whichever way works best for you, but just keep in mind that you're keeping your back straight. And so you're going to have your foot planted, you're going to hinge forward. And so when you're doing this, your eyes are looking just past the foot that is extended, because we don't want to look down and bend our neck. We don't want to look up and bend our neck, though that's not the worst thing. But just look ahead. And we're just going to hold that for another 10 seconds. Just breathe naturally. Think about all the great sewing that you're going to get back to doing. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's do the other side. Heel into the ground. Lean forward. Come on down. Hinging from the hips. Nice straight back. Eyes are looking just about 6 inches past your toe. Toes towards your nose. And then if you want to deepen it more and reach, that's fine. Don't need to. And we're going to hold this for another 10. And then next we're going to move up the body a little bit to our hip flexors. So come on up. Okay. Let's make sure that your chair is very stable for this one. And you can push it up against your table if that's the case. And I'm going to push mine up this way so you can see. So the hip flexors are where the front pockets on your jeans are. And so if I want to stretch my right hip flexor, my right knee is going to go on the chair. My left foot is hopefully going to stay firmly planted on the floor, but there are exceptions to that, which I'll show you. But then what we're going to do here is you're going to squeeze the right bum cheek so that you are pushing forward. Now, the exception I had said is because I have my chair higher, and I'm not that tall, I need to come up on my tippy toe to do this, the ball of my foot, not my tippy toe, the ball of my foot, so that I can get nice and tall. And then when I squeeze that butt cheek, I can really feel it opening here. And I'm squeezing. We're just going to hold this for another 15 seconds, actually. Nice and tall. Your other hand is on the table or on the chair for support. And then, I mean, once you get really comfortable with this, you can add a side bend to it, but don't worry about that right now. Okay, let's come down. We're going to do the other side. And so I'm going to put my left knee on my chair, and my right foot is on the floor. I need to come up to get nice and tall. You shouldn't have to. I'm going to squeeze my left butt cheek. Those glutes come up nice and tall, and just feel that primarily this is designed for the hip flexors. We get our hips get tight when we're sitting. The hip flexors in front, but it also stretches the quadricep a little bit down there too. All right, I know everybody's anxious to get back to sewing. Okay, now later today, repeat the upper body video, repeat the lower body video as needed, and have a great day.